Namaste, beautiful souls. Welcome to the sacred journey of Kal Mantra, Embrace Divine Grace. Let the celestial vibrations uplift your spirit and guide you toward inner peace, abundance, and divine blessings. Open your heart, chant with devotion, and awaken the infinite grace within you.
When you think about modern spirituality, two names just dominate the conversation: Sadhguru Jagi Vasudev and Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. Their influence is absolutely staggering, with millions upon millions of people all over the world embracing their very different paths to find some kind of transformation, some kind of inner well-being. It's safe to say they are two of the most significant spiritual voices we have today. But when you have that kind of influence, you're going to attract a ton of scrutiny. And for years now, whispers have been getting louder and louder online, suggesting there's some kind of silent conflict, a spiritual rift between these two giants. It's the question that's really captivated and honestly divided their followers. Is there a real rivalry going on here, or is this whole thing just one massive misunderstanding? So the whole debate really boils down to this. Over the last few years, video clips have been popping up, and in them, there are comments, often attributed to Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, that really seem to take a shot at Sadhguru's path and his life's work. And that is the fuel for this whole fiery online controversy. All right, so let's dig into the evidence, if you can even call it that. We're gonna look at the specific comments that have been passed around, the ones that have built this whole story of a conflict. We can really break it down into three main areas of tension. Okay, first up, the Adiyogi statue. Back in 2017, Sadhguru unveiled this absolutely massive 112-foot tall statue of Shiva as the Adiyogi, the very first yogi. For his followers, it's this incredibly powerful symbol designed to inspire all of humanity to take up yoga. It's a huge, iconic project. And then, almost right on cue, not long after the statue was unveiled, this quote starts making the rounds online. It's attributed to Sri Sri, and for many people, it felt like a direct jab at the Adiyogi project. Like he was questioning the very idea of needing these big, external things to be spiritual. The second point, and this one is, it's probably the most sensitive of all. It's about the death of Sadhguru's wife, Vijaya Kumari, or Viji as she was called. Now, Sadhguru's account has always been that she attained Mahasamadhi, which in the yogic tradition is a conscious, willing exit from the physical body. It's considered a really sacred and profound event. And this is where things get really, really heated. In a few different interviews, comments like this one started to surface. Now, Sadhguru was never mentioned by name, but the reference just felt so specific that for so many people, the implication was just unmistakable. It threw this cloud of suspicion over a deeply personal and sacred event, and you can imagine it caused some real hurt among his followers. And the third big point, it's all about the Dhyanalinga. This is, without a doubt, the absolute heart of Sadhguru's work at the Isha Yoga Center. It's this powerful, one-of-a-kind energy form that was consecrated through a years-long, incredibly intense yogic process. It's not a temple for praying, it's a meditative space, a tool for spiritual growth. And then you have this quote, which, it just perfectly captures what people saw as the core disagreement. On its own, it's a beautiful thought, right? But in the context of this debate, a lot of people took it as a dismissal of places like the Dhyanalinga, basically saying that these kinds of external consecrated forms are just not necessary. Okay, so when you lay it all out like that, it's so easy to see this as a straight-up rivalry, right? Guru versus guru. But what if it isn't personal? What if this isn't about rivalry at all? What if what we're actually seeing is just the natural friction between two completely different spiritual paths? So let's break this down. On one hand, you have Sadhguru. His path is deeply rooted in yogic science. It's all about inner engineering, mastering your own energy and using specific tools and rituals. Then on the other hand, you have Sri Sri. His path comes more from the Bhakti tradition, which emphasizes things like devotion, surrender, and love. So when you see it this way, their comments might not be personal attacks at all, but just reflections of their own core philosophy. And that leads to a really important question here. What if the real conflict isn't even between the gurus themselves? I mean, for the most part, they've stayed silent on this. What if the real battleground is social media, and the soldiers fighting this war are their followers? I mean, you just have to look at the comments section on any video about them. It's become a battlefield. Followers on both sides have totally weaponized these comments. What could be a respectful disagreement about philosophy just spirals into this toxic digital warfare, with people screaming, "Sri Sri is jealous," or "Sadhguru is fake." It's pure online tribalism, and any nuance just gets completely lost in the shouting. All right, let's pull back for a second. To really get what's happening here, we need to put it in a much bigger context. Because honestly, friction between different spiritual schools of thought is nothing new. The thing is, this kind of thing, it's not new at all. Spiritual history is literally packed with these kinds of profound debates. You had Shankara versus Ramanuja, the eternal debate between devotion, or bhakti, and non-dual knowledge, or Advaita. Even in more modern times, you had figures like Vivekananda and Osho who seriously challenged the old guard. It shows that this kind of friction isn't always about hate. Sometimes it's the very thing that forces everyone to get sharper and clearer about what they believe. Look at it this way. Sri Sri's work, through breathwork and devotion, has brought incredible joy and a sense of surrender to millions. Sadhguru's work, through inner engineering, has brought empowerment and a sense of mastery to millions. They're both serving humanity, just in their own powerful and unique ways. Maybe these aren't contradictions at all. Maybe they're just different flavors of truth. So where does that leave us? What's the real takeaway from all of this? Well, if you've been inspired by either of these teachers, the invitation isn't to pick a side in a fight that might not even be real. The real invitation from both of their traditions is to go inward, choose transformation, choose the truth that speaks to you. And look, that really leaves us with one last big thought. A guru can be a guide, a map, a doorway, but they are not the destination. The whole point of the journey is your own awakening. So maybe the real question isn't Sadhguru or Sri Sri. Maybe the only question that truly matters is, are you awake?
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more life-changing insights. Drop a comment below. How do you channel your energy? Let's build a community of seekers. Are you struggling with health, money, relationships, or career? Harness the power of authentic Rudraksh, planetary remedies, and Vedic astrology. Limited stock available. Visit kalmantra.com today to restore balance and transform your life.